Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. I didn't realize that Pillars of Eternity referred to the length of the loading screens. Also, loading screen tips was this. Some of the people you meet and fight in the world can be taken prisoner and held in your stronghold. For one, not entirely sure why you would want to. And for two, I'm not really sure how you do that, but we're here to provide information on the Animancy hearings, so something is as soon as what's-his-face is back, this is not what I'm looking for. As soon as Durance is back, we'll send him off to escort you. Where's the Duke holding audience, is the question. In here, perhaps? No. The records. Actually, let's go ahead and quick save and have a word with the records keeper. See if any.
Hail, traveler.
I'm looking for some militia records from the Saints War, trying to figure out what happened. Number of inquiries created bar access to the public. Seems right. I quick saved. I'm gonna try this. In the Duke's Palace, I can assure you, you do not. Besides, without my assistance, you'd be sifting through scrolls for years. Farewell. Well, that was worth a shot. I'm gonna go ahead and reload that, because that really isn't something that I would normally have done if I were not intending to just immediately reload. But I've reloaded the wrong save. But it's fine. Apparently, I'm still not well enough known in Defiance Bay. I've been looking for any quests, but it's hard to tell.
Indeed.
So, that was the records keeper's office. Maybe this is what we want. Aha! The Duke. There's a guy standing in front of a locked door. Place is reserved for you on the on the balcony. Go to the upper floor. Maybe this is the upper floor. Right, just a moment. Funny thing, being sick is really makes it really hard to record, but having allergies also makes it. This was not the door I needed.
Ah, the life of a tramp.
Yes, indeed. I think I may have interrupted a conversation there that I didn't mean to. Sorry, Kana. Oops. I suspect someone else was about to talk to him, and, nothing in here. Upper balcony. Aha, we have to go up here. So it's actually a balcony, not... I received word from when and you would be attending. The balcony has been opened for you. Aha! And everybody sits down. Stands up. Duke Avar Wolfgren. The room below is animated amidst a heated debate. All the representative groups are easily discerned in the crowd. Crucible Knights, stiff in their noisy armor, sit in one section. In another are well-dressed members of House Dominel, casual, watching with a predator's interest. Still elsewhere are the ramshackle dozens, who have made no special effort to dress up for their liege lord. Interspersed are animancers in their academics' robes, with expressions either sour or concerned.
Well then, answer me this, Master Barash. If you Animancers represent our best hope to cure the legacy, what progress can you demonstrate?
At the back of the chamber sits the Duke, sprawled on his throne, worn down but alert and feisty nonetheless.
As I've said, it isn't about progress, it's about potential.
My house would agree, Your Grace. We see great potential in its future.
And I suppose your blazing profits during the legacy don't have nothing to do with that, do they, Dominel? You can't have it both ways no more! Animancy goes, or this country goes!
So you admit, Master Barask, that Animancy is no closer to stopping the legacy than it ever was.
No, we've had many promising experiments. Cadman Azo has shown...
Cadman Azo murdered a child. For a complete failure. We should be hanging him right now for what he done. The dozens won't stand for it.
The experiment failed, yes, but his work...
His work was sabotaged.
Ah, our new delegate from the dozens. What makes you say sabotage?
I met a false patient in Brackenbury Sanitarium who had tampered with Azo's machinery.
The fuck's that even matter? These are people who would toy with the lives of our children.
Indeed. Even assuming there was sabotage, is this Animancer Azo not still accountable here?
This is not the Bale Reach incident. This is a responsible scientist who was manipulated. Aloth whispers between gritted teeth. How do you call him responsible? You saw the state of the sanitarium.
Horseshit! These Animancers can't be trusted! Look at what happened in Heritage Hill! Our supposed protectors from Crucible Keep can't even clean up the messes Animancy leaves!
Are you sure this is your delegate, Adric?
You won't be for long making claims like that.
Your Grace, we'd have a much easier time of it if our knights weren't so occupied trying to keep their organization from igniting a revolution on our very doorstep.
Heritage Hill is blood on your hands, Justicia! You turn a blind eye, and look what happens.
The Crucible Knights are blameless here. This was not the workings of Animancy, but an ancient device in Tir Nauneth.
You've some strange taste in travels, friend. The height of your tales expands with every breath.
My word is my oath. I challenge anyone here to find someone who knows different.
I had heard whispers of a new delegate set to attend today's hearing. I admit that your candor was mentioned more than once. Tell us what you saw in Heritage Hill.
Tir Nauneth houses an Ingwithan machine that holds dominion over the flow of souls. It was this machine that made the district undead. Do you think that was the machine's purpose, or just a dire side effect? Kena shudders. But then, why would the Ingwithans build such a machine at all?
Even if it is as you say, we have testimony that a group of Animancers had been spending time there. Surely their tinkering had something to do with this.
I have reason to believe there were others at the tower who might have done this.
Animancy has many enemies. You need only look around this room to see it.
You're missing the point! Everywhere there's Animancers, there's disaster! We all know what Widewind's legacy's really about. And it ain't about some sparkling saint from Creed Ceres who's mad because he took a stroll down the wrong bridge! It's about a bunch of so-called intellectuals fucking with the natural order while the rest of us gotta suffer for it!
Is it, though? Should we not take the time to reach a clear conclusion? I mean, what proof do we have?
My son and daughter are buried beneath the floor of my house. We don't own no land, so that's where we laid them. My son, my wife let him slip when she was bathing. Got water in his lungs, he couldn't cough up. My daughter, we put her to bed one night, and the next morning she wasn't breathing. This Hollowborn thing, it ain't ending. And it ain't ending because we still let these charlatans play God. There's your proof, you damn copper fucker!
Enough, Adric. Lady Dominel makes a point. If it's Animancy, then why do the other states that permit the practice not suffer the same fate? Who among us can say he truly understands why the legacy has taken hold here?
I can. Crowd begins to mutter, the sound taking a doubtful character. Widewind's legacy is the creation of the Leaden Key. Caedmon Azo's downfall was their work, as was the tower in Heritage Hill. They want you to do this. They want Animancy to fall. The dull muttering expands into a din of skepticism that fills the hall. I have seen the ruins of Ire Glanfath, operating machines that disrupt and redirect the flow of souls near towns like Gilded Vale and Deerford, where the legacy is universal. As a watcher, I have heard their dead confess their plot. They are stealing the souls of the unborn.
Beasts. Another lunatic at the hearing. Did you remember to lock your sanitarium before you left, Master Barask?
You shame your order by dismissing the truth before hearing it, madam. I expected better from a knight of the Crucible.
You must know, friend, that the leaden key is a mantle for small-time ruffians and children at play. I'm not saying you're a liar. Not yet. But you'd better start making sense of all this. Help us believe you.
Yes. Let's say a lord is cuckolded by his wife. If he tells her to stop, she'll only want her lover more. But if he spreads rumor that her lover has just visited a brothel and acquired a pox on his loins, she'll end it on her own.
I don't see what some rich lord's got to do with any of this.
Look, the wife is Deerwood, the lord is the leaden key, the affair is Animancy. Get it?
You're making less sense now than you was when you started. You done talking yet?
You've made an unexpected case, friend. I'll say that much. It seems we have a new possibility to consider, at the very least. How was it you came to learn all this?
The Martyrs of the Dozen supported my search for answers.
Though it would seem that not all of them were in on your investigation. Nevertheless, I am pleasantly surprised by their open-mindedness here.
Okay, sure.
But these hearings are about more than Widewind's legacy, even though that is our most pressing concern. Let's say for the moment that I were to take you at your word that our friends in Brackenbury Sanitarium and their peers bear no responsibility for this curse upon my country. I'm curious, what would you do if you were in my position?
Animancy should be studied in the Deerwood. If you don't, someone else will, and they will wield great power over you. Animancers serve their own... Ella shakes his head. Animancers serve their own ambitions and their own purses. Giving them this power is like setting a child loose in an armory.
Very well. That is all I wish to hear. Not just from you, but from everyone. Many days we've been at this. It is time we put it to rest. I want to thank the delegations for helping me collect my thoughts, and our new delegate, who, if nothing else, has made this final day a little more interesting. The time has come to choose a direction for the Deerwood. I am ready to make my pronouncement.
And what is the answer?
Ramir de Barash, representing the interests of Animancers in Deerwood, step forward.
Your Grace.
And...
The arguments for and against Animancy are both strong in their own way. I must be careful in my judgment.
Forgive me, Your Grace. We will accept no judgment but our own.
What's he doing? No! Avenge the Duke!
No, wait!
Stop this at once!
Well, this went about as well as I could expect.
I've given you every chance to end this pursuit. Shall I end it for you?
I think not.
Another time. I am already late.
Get him! Oh. Okay, I've been knocked unconscious. Subsequent is... Oh my god, go away! I'm busy. The words, "Shall I end it for you," ring in your ears. You find yourself gasping for breath, struggling to keep your own balance. You drop to a knee and watch as Theos hurries out of the building. The world dims around you, the screams and clashing of weapons fading to silence. All that remains are the words.
Shall I end it for you?
Theos stands at a pulpit, high above an assembly of robed onlookers, you among them, clustered around a wide, circular pit carved of stone. He addresses a woman bound backward over a large iron wheel, overlooking the great stone maw. Many of the woman's fingers and toes are severed, and the bottoms of her feet are charred black. The skin on one side of her face looks like melted candle wax, black and red and seeping, and the angle of her back suggests the spine in ruins. Yet for all that, her expression betrays little of her anguish. Okay.
I am already at peace, Grand Inquisitor.
Are you?
Her eyes are barely open, and her words come between strangled breaths, but they are steady, unbroken.
So be it. If you desire no end, you shall have none. I find you guilty of heresy. May the eternal prison bar your soul from passage, for it is beyond redemption.
He nods to a hooded attendant, who begins untying her from the wheel. Granted dominion of the sleepers. Excuse me. You open your eyes to the beamed ceiling of the palace's grand entry hall. The clangs of metal striking metal waft in from outside alongside the cries of the injured as you stagger to your feet. Theos is gone. Aelith hovers over you, worry etched on his face. Triax, we've got to get out of here. Fast. His eyes dart to the hall. Off to the side, you can hear the clinking rustle of chainmail, and you look over to see a wounded guard slumped against the wall. He's trying to say something, seemingly directed at you, but at first it is too faint to hear. He gathers his breath and manages to rasp out a few words. Lady Webb, she's the only. She must be told. She'll know what to do. Please, find her. Tell her everything. The guard passes out and slides to the floor, still. Okay. Let's cheese it before somebody, realizes that we might be connected to this. This is not good. This is kind of the extreme definition of not good. I should have realized as soon as it waved so many choices in my face that it was going to kill the Duke before he could. Okay. This? Not good. Brackenbury. Stand down. We don't want to fight you. Yeah. And this... Well, you did start the riot, so... This was not your brightest move. Also, they're armed and you're not, so... Yeah. I do have a bad feeling that Lady Webb is not going to be alive. Because, she's exactly the first one that Theos would have gone after, I assume. Clandestine cargo? What the bugger is clandestine cargo? Right. Okay. Rid of Hadrid House. Right. I don't know what clandestine cargo was. Right. Oh, I think somebody left it. Here you go. Go away. Oh, okay, that's what happened. I think I sent the supplicant off without an escort. Because there was one that wanted 500 gold, and then that one. So, either that or I misread the message and he actually completed it and got a reward. Yeah. Well, yep, she's dead. This is not exactly going spectacularly well. So far, we're down one Duke, and presumably one Lady Webb. Yep, she is dead. Lady Webb lies still in her bed, an ornate cushion propping her back upright. The blood pool beneath a gash in her chest is tacky and nearly dry. A shattered glass rests on the floor beneath her dangling hand. You can feel the faint aura of her fading essence in your ken. Reach out for it. You make contact with and are immersed in a torrent of sensory input and experience. When it calms, you find yourself in the same room, lying in bed with a glass of brandy in your hand. Through the walls from the streets outside come sounds of screams and shattering glass, and the cacophony of an angry mob. You take a slip, and it warms your gullet. Across the room, the door opens behind a patient, steady push. Into the room walks Theos, the floorboards creaking beneath deliberate steps. You wait until the last of the brandy has trickled down your throat before you speak.
I was a fool to think I could tame these people.
You came closer than most.
A fine epitaph.
No worse than any.
You are concentrating, focusing with all of your energy, and it feels as though you are diving into a stone wall over and over. But it cracks suddenly, unexpectedly, allowing the vaguest wisp of a thought to leak through.
What's in Twin Elms?
Did you pull that from my thoughts?
I've had time to practice.
Ah.
He walks over to a small table and raises a half-empty brandy bottle to eye level. He seems to approve of the selection and begins to reach for an empty glass.
I was saving that for someone.
Pity. You know this is how it has to be.
He replaces the brandy bottle on the table with care before approaching the bedside. He sits on the edge of the bed next to you. You know this is how it has to be. His words come freely, absent of all doubt. He draws a long, curved knife from his belt, smeared with fresh blood. With his left hand, he gently pins your sternum as he raises the knife in the other, its point dangling above your heart.
Prove it.
Theo slips the knife between your ribs and pushes it through. Layers of tissue separate with brittle, papery stiffness, and blood wells up around the blade. The last pulse of reflexes causes you to drop your glass to the floor and you hear it shatter. With the last of your strength, you take his knife hand in both of yours, a question radiant in your mind. For an instant, to your great surprise, the pathway to his mind is left open to you, unguarded, and the answer comes. Simple, cataclysmic in its reordering of your thoughts. As Lady Webb, you feel as though you have an answer you've searched for all your life, but in your own mind, her understanding lies just beyond your reach. You look at Theos with the wide eyes of someone seeing for the first time and draw your last breath as a black, velvety darkness descends over you.
Smoke rises above the city walls in billowing plumes that blacken the sky like a storm. Behind the walls, the riots rage on. Known patrons of Animancy are forced into hiding as looters ransack their estates and make off with their possessions. Animancers are torn away from their families and dragged from their homes to be stoned to death in the streets. Word had spread immediately that Duke Avar had been assassinated, and that an Animancer was to blame. The city wasted little time in exacting revenge, and little effort into evaluating guilt. In the center of it all, Brackenberry Sanitarium burned. And down the lane, Hodred House, the last bastion of stability in the Deerwood, had fallen silent. Now safely outside the city gate, your path points eastward to Twin Elms, where Theos is bound, for reasons that remain mysterious as the leaden key itself.
Yeah, this guy's going to answer for a lot of stabbing. Hey, I'm wondering, Kenua has dungeons. We have the endless paths. Maybe we can trap him down there, let him wander aimlessly forever. Quest completed. The Hermit of Hadred House. What do you want? Whistling in the Reeds added. Quest expires in 3 days. Taxes collected. In the Middle Plains, Zokchine Lake is renowned for the beautiful flowers that grow along its banks for several weeks every spring. Local farmers harvest the flowers for a spring festival in all the nearby villages. In the past 3 years, 4 people have gone missing during the flower collections. No one has seen the abductions take place, but people in the area have reported hearing a high-pitched whistle from within the tall reeds. When the abductees are discovered days later on the shore of the lake, they appear to be happy and smiling, but unaware of the world around them. The blissful victims never recover from the state, most dying within a few weeks. The philosophers at the monastery near Zokine Lake have advised local rulers to seek outside help with the problem. Hey, fantastic! Grieving Mother, get to it, please. Excuse me. New quest: the Assassin at Large. Theos has killed the Duke and Lady Webb and sent Defiance Bane to Chaos, but Lady Webb saw where he intended to go next, to the city of Twin Elms. Izara must go if there's any chance of catching up to him. Well. Compromising. The bridge. We decided to bugger out of the city. As the floods receded, the path through Stormwall Gorge is open. Hang on, somebody else said something. Oh, as you cross the bridge, Aeloth drives up beside you. The fire's Defiance Bay cast a shivering, flickering light across one half of his face. The other is in darkness.
Please stop. I need to tell you something.
Don't tell me you got another personality tucked away in there. Go ahead.
I have not been entirely honest about my motives for traveling with you up to this point. When I finished my training in Adia, I was introduced to an organization. All I knew was that they were opposed to the unchecked spread of Animancy, and that they could guarantee me postings far away from the Seathwood my father and his Earl. At that time, it was enough. In the early years, I thought of them as many things. Hooded men, prudent teachers, the leaden key. Their rules were strict, but their guidance was clear. I sincerely believe they wanted to keep Kith from the folly of their own foolish ambitions. I came to the Deerwood a little over a year ago. My orders were to gather information on Animancy in the region. A senior contact met with me every few months to receive my reports and issue new leads. She sent me to Gilded Vale to keep an eye on events surrounding the local lord, but I lost track of her shortly after that. I don't know if she was reassigned, killed, or sacrificed, the way you saw. By the time you met me, I'd been on my own for a couple of months.
You knew I was coming.
I couldn't have. I'd been out of contact with my superiors for months.
Yeah?
I needed some kind of direction. And after that scrape with the locals, I was ready to get out of town. But then you mentioned that you'd survived that Beowick, and I thought you might be able to put me back on the Leaden Keys trail. And I was correct in a way. What we found wasn't what I expected. I knew the Leaden Key was trying to stop Animancy, but I didn't realize how far they'd gone. Murder, sabotage, abandoning entire districts to shambling horrors. And now the whole city is up in flames.
Yeah?
I'm still not sure about Animancy, but I know I've been following the wrong master. Please, accept my apology, and my service. Let me fight with you to stop Theos.
I forgive you, Aloth, but I want you beside me, not behind me. I'm not asking you to trade one master for another.
That would be an honor.
Let's go. Right then. I probably could have gotten more information out of him. I will in another playthrough, I think, but for now... For now, I'm going to return to Caed Nua. Stormwall Gorge will be there next episode. But for now, I feel the need to... my character, would feel the need to retreat to his stronghold, to some semblance of safety, a place safe, guarded, to pause, take a breath, consider everything that he's seen. I'm terrible at role-playing. I understand this, I admit this, I acknowledge this.
I must say, I'm impressed.
Thank you. But this is the thing that he would do. Yeah, no, we've just seen the forum. Come on, let's come over here. Let's come over here. We got a couple of minutes before the actual end of the episode. Curio shop. Artificer's Hall is the other thing we haven't done. Vagabond Scald. Waiting on your orders, my lord. Right, let's go here to the Artificer shop. Let's run, because it's going to be... Oh, we can also do the other bounty quest, which is awesome. Excuse me. How about that? So, I don't remember if we've been in here.
Hail and well met.
Oh, we have, because this is the trap place. Right. Darts, traps. Do we have anything to trade? There you go. We can have that. And that one, and that, and those. Because I'm not really much good at Sunlands. Favored among Aothians, the Sunlance trap calls down a powerful lance of pure and blinding light which strikes with lethal force. Those intruders that are not impaled outright are often seared alive by the resulting heat. Cool. Or hot, rather. Curio shop was the other one I wanted to go see. Actually, we're going to run slightly over time because I was busy reading, but these episodes aren't that long. So basically what we're going to do here is rest and prepare ourselves, and we'll probably rest the, start off by rest.
Not as beautiful as the Anguithan ruins near my home, but your fortress is impressive in its own little way.
That's one big dude. Actually, I don't know. We might try going back into the endless paths to see if we can see how far down we can get. I don't believe I've actually talked to you before, have I?
Welcome.
I have. Beetle shells, Zorb tongues, certainly. Scroll of Stag's Horn, no thank you. A Vithrak brain. I don't know what a Vithrak is, but okay. So this is all the ingredients you need to make, do your enchanting. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and what was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna say end the episode and tell you guys that. Come on, I don't want to save on stop on a loading screen. I hate doing that. Thank you. So,
I must say, I'm impressed.
Yes, Aleph, we get it. Thank you. So, this has been Pillars of Eternity with Triax 2. Oh, there's a... Oh, Eater wants to talk. Right, these numbers are new. The game updated, and I didn't notice that it had done it. Right, so next episode we'll start off by talking to Eater and resting in the Bright Hollow, and then there's crackling energy on his Kana's gun. Alright, stop noticing things and then the episode. So this has been Pillars of Eternity with Triax 2. I will see you guys next time. Bye.